It's Friday. Hello, everybody. Welcome on into the Friday stream.
What up?
Hey,
what
Cheesy.
Up? How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing really good now.
Are you? Are you hungry?
I got my steps in for the day.
Oh, yeah, already?
Yeah, dude.
You're done.
Yeah, 8,135 steps.
At that point, it's free license.
The 135th step was to ride to this chair.
Really?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's like it's meant to be, Cheesy.
Well, it was good. It was beautiful.
Well,
beautiful.
This is a very special Friday stream. We're all in studio this week, and it is the final Friday stream.
It's the final countdown.
Lucky 13.
Yeah.
It's our little grand experiment.
Is it Lucky 13? It was literally an experiment.
The
great
experiment.
Like just throwing things together.
Yeah.
Like when you're a little kid, you don't know how to cook. You just like throw the whole egg in there, and there's the whole.
That is
like there was never like a rhyme nor reason.
It is like
we kind of got on track for a little bit there, then we kind of got off track, but we at the end of the day we have to make room
for
other
to
things.
We have some real.
Oh, dude!
First of all, you've come up with some super solid ideas. What we're going to do in absence of the Friday stream, so never fear. I think it's going to turn around even better. But
I think the Friday stream was a way for us to test a few things that going forward, we learned some things that didn't work and we learned some things that worked. There are things that are going to be coming up that's going to involve the community that's going to be bigger than what the Friday stream ever was.
Bigger, better, faster, stronger.
That's it.
Hey, Drew.
Hey.
Hey, man. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest.
Thank you. I love it up here.
Good to have you back here. We're going to do a rotation because the whole crew's in studio to say goodbye to the Friday stream. Brent's here. Hey, Brent.
Oh, hello.
Hello. I had brunch with Brent today and yesterday. It's been delicious. Oh, man. It smells like food in here, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's Brent.
Well, no, whenever I was grilling up the food the other day and I was like, hey, Brent, do you have any vegetables? Of course Brent's got vegetables.
Yeah,
and vegetables coming out of everywhere.
Yeah, and whoa, slow down.
Hey-o.
Yeah, and he just like sliced them up. And so we had some kale chips last night with the barbecue, the zucchini.
Dude,
what else do we have?
Mushrooms. Those mushrooms were amazing.
Bell pepper, I think.
But come on now. Don't sell yourself short. You made some great chicken.
All right.
You grilled up some great ribeyes.
That was a team effort though, because Wes had the sous vide down.
That's true.
So we sous vide the chickens for a bit.
It was a team effort. It was a team effort. We're doing just like my lady taught us. Hey, baby.
Hey.
Hadia's here. She's going to join us for a little bit because we've got ourselves a very special Friday. A lot's been going on this week, as you could probably imagine, having everybody in town. I think when we planned this whole thing, there was like one like personal, like just sort of off like the work list, but like just have fun list that I wanted to accomplish. You all thought I was crazy. You all thought, oh man, this Chris and his 2-hour drive, it's 4-hour drive total. He's ridiculous. I wanted to go out to Diablo Overlook here in the Cascade Mountains. So Diablo Lake is like this special lake that's fluorescent green because it's been man-made by 2 different dams. And then it has what they call glacier flower in it that gives it this green color. It's gorgeous. It's picturesque.
It's beautiful.
It's picturesque. And I wanted to take you guys out there, not to see the lake, because that'd be ridiculous. I want to take you out there in the pitch dark so that way I could leave you on the mountain.
Yeah, and you did not leave us on the mountain, thankfully?
No, it was because it's, oh, shoot.
The Perseus meteor shower.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Good.
that's what it is.
I thought I'd have to go get Wes.
Yeah, it wasn't the peak time.
Thank you, Wes.
Thank you, Wes. It was cool. The moon was big though, so we didn't get to see as much of the meteor showers I think we would have seen. But we did get to do some long exposure photography too, and that was really cool. And so while you couldn't necessarily see the green lake because it was dark, by the time you had done some long exposure, you could see the green in the lake. Really cool.
It was fun because I took my camera, which I used to use for vlogging, back when I vlogged, and I haven't used it since I vlogged because of issues that I have with vlogging. And then I thought for this trip, maybe I'll bring it out. And so I brought it with me on the drive, got out there, and Brent's like, well, come over here. We'll do a little slow photography. And I'm like, oh, all right, maybe I'll try it. And it really was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. You showed me things I didn't know my camera could do.
I think that's the best thing about some of our tools is we don't realize they're more capable than we know, right? And so you've just grown.
That's true.
Well, and a big hands up to Brent. I mean, he like walked over there and like basically taught you 101,
Seriously?
long exposure.
Well, that was
and then on top
great.
of that, it was on top of a tripod that should have been thrown off the side of the cliff. But
now Brent did a great job of doing like photography 101. That's how you know Brent's got it down because he can explain it to me in very basic terms.
I was kind of jealous because I wanted some Brent time too, and you took up all the Brent time. We weren't up on top of the peak long enough, but
I would love hours, bro.
I would love to go. I would love to go back and even camp there, or camp nearby, and kind of do that for a whole evening. I think would be great.
So I saw 2 shooting stars.
I got one.
You did?
Yeah. It was awesome. It was like maybe minute 2 of us being there.
Yeah. The first 2 I saw right away, and then I didn't see any the rest of the night, which is the whole reason we went out there. But then with the full moon and just the scenery and just being out there at night and stuff and having like this huge light in the sky, it was just really, it didn't matter.
And the moon shadow.
Yeah. Yeah, we took photos with the long exposure where you can see shadows being casted by the moon. There's shadows at night. Who knew?
Well, and even Alex had put on like a 600 millimeter lens and shot some amazing photos of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And you could actually see, the ripples from the atmosphere, the heat.
Yeah, you could see Armstrong's boot prints.
Yeah. It was awesome, man. It was really cool. He did some experimentation, having Hadia drive up and down the road to try and get some light.
That was really fun.
I think you put a GIF together.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. GIF.
Shut your mouth.
No, don't start that
Let's
again.
not even go there.
No.
That's the hot topic for today. You know what? I'm actually kind of curious.
Yeah?
I'm actually kind of curious what Linux, what Jill has to say about that.
Oh yeah, we've got to bring in the mumble room.
Yeah.
Hello, mumble room.
Jill, what do you?
Hello.
Is it GIF or GIF? How do you?
I say GIF because when I started using it back in the early 90s, in fact, the first program that used it was Autodesk Animator, and the developer called it GIF for graphics interchange format.
Yeah.
But he kind of changed later to GIF, and I think he just did that to play with the audience a bit, play with us.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me, originally when it first rolled out, people were saying GIF? Or GIF?
GIF.
GIF.
Because it was graphics image format.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I guess if you wanted to, you could spell graphics with a J, but that's
Damn
weird.
I hate it when Jill's so right. She's right. I just want to say. Here's why I want to say GIF. I feel like this is reasonable. I don't need a GIF and a GIF in my life. I just need one.
Do you need either? Honestly,
I'm a pretty big peanut butter fan. Although, babe, do I like GIF? Is that what I like?
Yeah, you prefer GIF.
Yeah,
chunky or creamy?
Chunky.
Chunky.
He prefers chunky.
Oh, it's got to be chunky.
Yeah.
I don't even do peanut butter, but it's got to be chunky.
You don't do peanut butter?
No, almond butter. Almond butter for life.
You and your fancy almond butter. I'm a basic guy. I'll do those peanuts.
There's nothing better than when peanut butter meets butter. Like almond butter meeting butter isn't that same kumbaya that peanut butter meeting butter.
Have you ever tried almond butter and butter?
Girl, of course I have.
Girl, what did that girl just say?
Girl.
Now, if you
He
throw in some
lies.
bananas, then you got the Elvis sandwich.
Girl, what did that girl just say, girl?
I lie.
That's the oomph at the end.
These are the things that matter. So okay, before we go, just you gotta keep me happy. Was it worth going out there? Was it worth the 4-hour drive?
It was absolutely worth the 4-hour drive, and I'll tell you why. Because we are all here, right? We were split up in 2 vehicles, but
with the 2 ways,
with
which
the
is fun.
2-way radio, so we're communicating back and forth between the vehicles as we're going through these twisties.
I noticed
and
at some
In
stuff.
point-
love ballads.
Yeah, I noticed at some point you assigned Cheesy a radio duty.
No, I
No,
took it.
he took it.
There's a big difference between being assigned and
Yeah.
taking things that weren't mine, because I absolutely just took it. But yeah, I mean, so it was cool. We had a good time, everybody, I think it was a real bonding experience for everyone too.
Yeah.
To go up there together, up and down, up the mountain, down the mountain, and then just hanging out there at night, like everybody's doing their own thing. Kind of got everyone involved in doing some light painting stuff. And
That was cool. You brought an LED strip and
yeah, basically just an LED strip attached to a selfie stick or something that you had here at the studio.
Who,
I just,
me?
like,
No, I wouldn't. I don't have a selfie stick.
You're not that vain. But yeah, it was cool. I thought it was a little bit of a trip up there. It is great that when you are there, you are completely disconnected. There is no cell phone service. There's nothing there. So like when you go with a group, you actually get to spend time with the people and not everyone's not glued to their device or whatever. So it was a great experience. I would definitely do it again, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, you're legit up in the Cascade Mountains, so there's no signal. There's no nothing.
There were hardly any people, really.
It was just us.
We were really the only ones there.
I mean, I think the entire time there might have been like 5 or 10 cars that like went by the pass.
And I was most of them.
Yeah, doing loops for the photography.
What I loved was the difference in the energy between both cars.
Yes, I was going to comment on that too. Mm-hmm.
So, Hadia, what was your car like?
It was Party Central.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we sang the whole way.
We sang the whole way.
Up
And
and
Joe
down.
got louder and better.
Joe is a hell of a
yes.
People. I think they would be super surprised.
Really, he's a
I had
good
a blast
singer.
with
Dude.
him.
Yeah.
People would be super surprised. Like he's nailing Queen and stuff. Like, dude,
yeah.
Bohemian
Nailing it.
Rhapsody,
Really?
nailing it, dude.
He was doing
So
some
good.
crooning on top of the mountain, man. It was
Yeah.
good.
It was great.
And he put up with my Billy Joel. And who does that?
I did prepare him
Who
for
does
that.
that?
I gave him a heads up on that one.
But that's better than Billie Eilish. Wait, did I just say that?
Oh, no, I agree.
I love this. We got a super badass shot that Alex has up on his Instagram. We'll put a link in the show notes. We got a really badass
Is that
shot.
the Drew shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew
The
looks
light
like
stick.
like a rock star with the light stick there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got the speed stripes on the side, the shaved
Yeah.
speed stripes. You're looking
That-
good, Drew.
It should be said that those stripes actually do make him work faster.
They do.
They make him edit faster.
Here's a great shot of Hadia just chilling with the lights.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that was fun. Yeah, we drove out there. So in our car, we did do some music. Once we got cell signal again, we had DJ Drew, which for all right should probably just be a show on the network. It was so good. But we had some really good like philosophical conversations. We were getting deep on our drive out there.
Weren't we?
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't until you guys radioed us singing music. We're like, oh, is that what we're supposed to be doing?
Yeah, right? We're supposed to be jamming? Like,
We were talking.
Well, I felt that like us going through and singing helped you guys out. Like I felt like we were providing a service to you
It's true.
by doing that.
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, except on the way back, I do have like a baby bladder, so we had to stop.
Yeah, like
times.
5 times.
Yeah.
so many
5
times.
times. Come on, it was twice down the
Could
mountain.
you imagine a road trip with cheese?
I
Could you
know.
imagine? Could you
Well, I wouldn't
imagine?
be. You know.
I guess if you got your own crapper, it's a little better, right? It's a
Well,
little
yeah. I
better.
mean, it's dude,
You know what you need is that thing that I got on the trip to New York.
Oh, God.
What, babe?
So you mean the bladder that you peed into and left in the back of my
Yeah, that
Focus
thing.
for a week?
Yeah, that thing.
Oh, no.
For the valet to drive
Hey,
around?
To be fair, we're coming into New York, and you know New York traffic,
We're on the
right?
New Jersey Turnpike.
And
you ain't
I'm
getting off.
I'm not going to get a chance to pee. We're stuck in traffic. I got to pee, and I didn't want to arrive at the hotel with a bladder on my mind because then I wouldn't be thinking about checking in. So
Because you got a bladder on your mind.
So the whole Seattle to New York road trip, we don't take advantage of this portable urinal. And in the last 15 minutes of the drive, I'm like, now's the time. Let's break this thing out. So I go ahead and relieve myself, and it tops off just fine. There's no mess, no fuss, not a big deal. I'm in the passenger seat. It was no problem at all. And it's designed to be stored, so I put it on the floor of the car. Well, we got to was it like a Grand Hyatt or something, babe?
Above Grand Central Station.
It was like downtown Manhattan. Did not
Gotcha.
expect this. And we thought we would get there and go into like a parking garage, and then we'd grab our bags.
Get our shit together.
I'd pour out the thing of piss into a bathroom somewhere. You know, she'd be able to grab.
She'd be a decent human being.
She could grab her insulin.
Right,
you know,
right,
those
right,
kinds of
right,
things.
right, yeah.
No. We show up at the hotel, and it's like, get out of the car. You're on the streets of New York, and traffic's trying to get around you. You are blocking traffic. Get out of your car as fast as possible, so that way the valet could take it.
And get your stuff on the little cart. And
Yeah.
our stuff is everywhere.
So basically the pee bag got
Well,
you know,
Left.
I have
left.
one question.
Yeah.
What
Like-
month was this?
September.
But it was
Okay, so at least it wasn't like
No.
burning hot.
No. It was a heat wave
it
there.
was excessively hot.
It was excessively hot.
No.
Yeah, it was really bad.
How bad was the smell? Did it keep it in?
It
or-
actually did. It did a
Okay.
great
Its
job.
All right.
It did its job.
I think we
That's good.
emptied it out back in like Indiana or something.
And we
Oh.
never used it on the way back. Either.
No, because that's nasty.
Yeah. You're just jealous that you didn't get to use it.
It was supposed to be for me.
It actually has like an extra adapter.
Yeah,
for the-
lady adapter.
Yeah, it's got a lady.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
a little
well,
scoop.
I've seen those. Yeah,
You
yeah,
bought
yeah.
it for me.
I did. So that way because sometimes Hadia gets potty anxiety.
Oh,
You're a compulsive.
I am not I'm a strategic peer. Those are two different things.
Babe, you're
anxiety and
she's a compulsive peer.
No, it's like, listen.
Hey, look, we can have baby bladders together, Hadia. It's cool.
I do have a baby bladder, but that's not. There's a difference between a baby bladder and a compulsive peer.
She's got.
Even
if she has just relieved herself, if she thinks,
I think we're going to be on the road. I'm going to pee now because I don't want to have to feel.
Imagine you're just out the door.
About it.
Yeah.
She's just gone to the bathroom. She just got herself ready. You're just out the door. Oh, hey, you know what I need to do? I need to go to the bathroom.
No, that is not how that works. That's how it seems to you. Because you want to go to the bathroom and I'm already in there. And you blame me for being in there all the time.
Hey, I got to strategically pee.
Hey, on this topic, let's... and I know Elle will have something to say to this too. Diablo, look out. Diablo Lake. Beautiful place. Beautiful when we were out there.
Yeah.
You could see the moon rising. I think Elle even got some video of like the moon rising behind the mountain, that we were sitting at. But then Elle was like, hey, I was like, I really need to go to the bathroom. She's like, me too. I was like, well, let's go walk over to the bathrooms because they have some public bathrooms there.
Are they vault toilets?
I don't know what that means, but you walk in.
It's a giant hole in the ground.
Yeah.
It's like a plastic dome on top
permanent
of it.
porta potty.
Yeah.
You know what's great?
Elle couldn't even go in. Elle couldn't even go in. It was that bad. It was that bad.
It'd been a hot day.
I went in,
It'd been a hot day.
and it's dark. There are no lights around the in the bathroom at all, right? There's no way to really see. And I mean, we all had flashlights and stuff, right? So I'm, trying to get positioned and using my flashlight, and I accidentally pointed it down.
Oh, you looked in the hole?
No.
Bro, you never look in the hole, bro.
Look in the hole.
And it was instantly, Elle's outside the door, and I'm like, and I like turn
Cascade
on the
Poop
light.
Mountain.
Oh,
Dude.
You never look in the
yeah.
hole.
So what happened next?
Well, I mean, I didn't throw up, I used the bathroom and then exited using my arm as an elbow to get out.
Yep.
Right. And then I looked at Elle, and Elle already had the hand sanitizer out, and I'm like, yes, please. And we just bailed, and she was like, I'm not even going in.
Yeah,
I'm not even doing it.
You two were the only ones that even went over there and tried it. The rest of us all just found a tree in the shade. And
That's right.
I will say that's not quite true. I walked my way over there.
Yeah, Brent went over there.
yeah.
Although,
you did the vault?
oh yeah, and I
peed on
performed a
Poop
community
Mountain.
service, which is I used the vault before you did. I don't know which one you chose because there's two of them.
Yeah, I think mine was the one on the left.
They're connected. They're connected by the deep hole, though. They're connected
That's
by.
true. But I shut the lid on the vault for the right-hand washroom, which you chose incorrectly.
There's nothing. That's my life. That's my life.
Oh, yeah. Well, very good. Yeah, lesson learned there. Just when you're out in the wild,
I did the pinky pool, right? That like we had discussed the other day. Like that was my pinky pool.
you got to sacrifice a finger. Which one?
Yeah, that's the one I was willing to cut off.
Right. Sure. In case.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the vault toilet system.
No. Peeing on Poop Mountain's not the greatest thing in the world.
You're not supposed to look in there, bro.
Probably the Cascades.
How do you think these mountains were built up over years?
All right, so there's another story we need to share, and that is that Hadia, Drew, and Brent just got back from another one of Hadia's famous flash mobs. We've talked about these before on the show, and this one was scheduled in particular, I think, because Brent was in town. He encouraged Hadia, and it just takes her the smallest push to get going on this kind of thing.
I think the boys should speak to this because they've never done it before.
Yeah, they've never been. Yeah, exactly. And this is Hadia's. This is her bag, so she knows. She's done this before. So what'd you think, Drew? Let's start with you.
So first of all, I was late getting the text from Hadia because I was just stepping out of the shower and I see my phone blowing up and it's last chance. Are you coming?
So it's a flash mob scramble.
Yeah. So, cover my shame as quickly as possible, get out the door, and here comes Hadia screaming around the corner in this Ford Focus.
Very safe driver.
Throw my bags in, jump in, don't even have time to get the seatbelt on, and we are out of the parking lot on our way. We are running late because of me. So we get there, and so I have really, really terrible vision. And part of the flash mob was we were trying on different sunglasses. And so I can't see what I'm doing the whole time.
No way.
And I'm pretty sure I almost bumped into a few people as I'm dancing, checking myself out in the mirror, trying on these sunglasses. And yeah, it was, I had such a fun time, though.
There's an amazing GIF of you dancing.
Yeah, I was about to say
is.
you got some sick moves.
Did you
too.
just call it a GIF for me?
I'm French Canadian.
Very good. Okay, so you enjoyed yourself. Would
I
you do
did.
it again? You didn't feel
Yeah.
you didn't feel ridiculous?
No? Well, I mean, yeah, but
Yes,
that's kind of the point,
yeah,
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Drew
Absolutely.
gave on the way there the disclaimer. He's like, "Well, just so you know, I'm not very good at dancing, right?" And he is like, "No, that's what it's all about. Let's just, no shame."
How
No
did it feel
shame.
for you, Brent?
Where to start?
So you're going to a Fred Meyer's. You're in public. You guys are just a few minutes away. You got to like get the Bluetooth synced up to the cell phone. You got to pick your song. Is this all conversation that's had it beforehand?
To really set the scene, though, we are like right by the cash registers. So it's not like we're, back in a corner.
Right.
No, we are like right there.
Very public.
Very, very public.
So Hadia had been sending different song options the last few days for us to choose from, and she came up with some amazing song options. But I had forgotten which one we actually chose. So on the way up, we're listening to our song of choice on the way up just to kind of groove it out. So you got to test the Bluetooth speaker and all this stuff, right? So that got us in the mood. I realized as we were walking in that I was whistling the tune.
Already.
So I had to convince myself to stop whistling it because that might give it away.
Don't want to give it away, yeah.
Yeah.
That guy's whistling a tune. I think a flash mob's about to happen.
Yeah.
I know what's going down.
Nobody just whistles a tune, dude.
Right.
But the experience was amazing. I think I tried to convince Adia to get us to do this, and she was a good sport to kind of go with it. And it took her maybe a few hours, and then she's like,
so much
"All right.
convincing.
All right."
So much.
Well, and Brent, do you want to tell them what song it was?
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
"Well, Hadia, I think the honor should be yours."
Yes.
Well, we decided that we ought to rickroll Burlington's Fred Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Hadia maybe doesn't fully appreciate.
No, of course not.
Well, and I saw like in some of the photos too. There was another person there.
Yeah, that was Jackie.
She Facebooked this thing.
Oh yeah. So
Jackie was awesome.
So never going to give you up, huh?
And we did get one dancer who wasn't part of
we had a couple.
pre-planned flash mob. Oh,
We
yeah.
had
But we
Yeah.
had the one who
One of-
really got into
one
it.
of whom-
How many did you have?
I'd say we probably had 4.5.
All right.
No. You missed the crowd of people who was
0.5.
hiding behind the women's lingerie.
Oh, that
and
was
they
counting
were
those, but they're
giggling
more-
and
yeah,
dancing
yeah.
at the same time.
As they do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the best part was one of my patients rolled by and started dancing, and she didn't recognize me as her acupuncturist. But I just danced with her. I'm like, I know you. I know some personal shit about you, but I'm not gonna say it.
Or
Girl, how are your hemorrhoids doing? I didn't say any of that.
or she recognized you and decided she didn't recognize
Right.
you.
No,
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah.
That
that's
could be
another
true.
thing.
I haven't been back in a while.
But of all the flash mobs I've done, we had the most number of audience
participation.
participation.
Cool.
Yeah, just people like they're having a good time. Didn't somebody stop by you, Brent, and said like, "What's going on?"
Well, we were in one of the main aisles that you had no choice but to go down. And so people were noticing us. And a lady came by. She turned the corner with her shopping cart and she went, "Whoa, what is going on here?" So I thought, okay, I'm going to explain this. So I said, "Well, we're dancing. Isn't it clear?" And we're dancing she's like, "Well, why are you dancing?" "Well, we're just dancing just for fun. We're trying to put smiles on people's faces."
Yeah.
And clearly we put one on yours. I said, "You should dance too." And she started like going for it. And then I saw her after we were done. We were just shopping for a few of the snacks here. And I saw her after. I said, "Oh, thanks for dancing." She said, "You know what? That was so much fun. I was telling my friend about it and all this stuff." So I think we affected a few people.
I would say if I went into some random shop, right, and I'm gonna pick myself up some, for me it would be steaks.
Yeah.
For you it would be bananas.
Okay.
Right. But
Plantains.
steaks and bananas, plantains. But either way, if I saw you dancing, I would join in with the Brent dancing.
I would totally. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If it was like, if I was like, "What are y'all doing?" He's like, "We're dancing for fun." I'd be like, "Psh, "Yeah, we are."
Now
Well,
we
it's
are.
so infectious,
You know.
right?
And let's be clear here. The way this works is not that we had some sort of like choreography. We show up, and the plan is to start dancing in sort of a low-key way and then to amp it up little by little, but bad. It has to be sort of bad dancing the entire time.
That's
And the
can
point
do,
is to be
so.
unintimidating enough that other people go, well, I could do that.
It's a balance.
And then other people, and it totally worked this time. Like the other people joined in.
I was dancing with
I like
toothpaste.
it.
in
Are
my
we
hands.
Rick
Yeah.
rolling on the last Friday stream?
You
Rick
bet.
rolling
Yeah.
people on the last Friday stream?
You know how it goes. Do you hear
Sending you off in style.
You heard the new
Friday.
YouTube news, right? They're not going to penalize you for playing small clips of songs now.
Oh, well,
good.
isn't that nice?
It is, isn't it?
Finally.
That's the big news
Gosh.
this week. Yeah. I'm
And I
I'm all
hope
about it.
they don't, because you know that the way that really kind of blew up was whenever YouTube set it
I know.
as an April Fool's joke
Yeah, which they basically used the song.
for nothing.
Yeah, I know.
They basically didn't pay them any rights to use the song whenever they rickrolled the internet on YouTube.
Well,
But that sounds like super fun.
It was amazing.
I'm glad you had that.
And
sort
let's
of
give a good
participation.
shout out to Jackie who joined us. So Jackie runs the senior center in Burlington. She's a good friend of mine. And it's a big deal when you come into your own town and do this. Every other flash mob I've done at least 30 miles away from my own hometown or across the country.
Is that just because you don't
It's a
feel
buffer.
comfortable
There's
in your
a
own?
social
Yeah,
buffer.
Right. I got you.
I mean, I do know a lot of people within the 30-mile radius, but it's just better.
You're less likely to run into.
This is
those
the first
people.
time I did it in the town where I ran my own business for 10 years. Jackie is a well-established member of the community, and she came over to join us, putting herself out there for the first time. She did amazing.
And what a sweetheart. She was talking about how she was nervous when we were walking up, and she got so into it. She had so much fun. I really thought it was just a super successful
That
flash
lady
mob.
trusts me more than she should.
Oh, yeah?
And I really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah?
that's a funny comment to make. 'Cause I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to make of that.
But I mean, I like that it, just at its root, it's about having fun and putting a smile on someone else's face.
Yeah.
So if they come in to buy some onions,
Yeah.
they're gonna smile before they go home and cut them up and cry. Like it's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be a real
That's
thing.
nice. All right. Well, you know what we need to do is we need to tell some more stories. Let's play a Friday stream classic while we swap out, and we'll bring in wave 2 of the JB crew. We'll tell a few more stories. So this is a going away song. We also need to talk about what we're going to do for future community events. Some of the stuff we've been doing on the Friday stream, some of the experiments that have worked.
Do we want to give that thing away?
No, not yet.
soon?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, soon.
Because
Not yet.
okay.
Soon.
Because I mean, I don't want to give
Very-
nothing away.
No, don't worry. We'll get
All right.
there.
All right.
Stand by.
We need to get Joe to sing us back in.
Yeah, we should.
Hey, Joe, you want to come sing us back in?
Yeah, that would have been perfect, wouldn't it? I should have thought of that.
That'd been great.
All right, so we've got phase 2 in here, and then we've got a whole bunch of people out in the living room. So maybe we'll try to work some more in here. But
Well, maybe we'll post show with just a hangout or something.
little old post show.
I have a floppy mic.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know
yeah.
you can get tablets for that.
Yeah, well. Yeah, you got to watch out for that, right? You just got to work it a little bit, Ange. If you just give it a little extra attention and just take a little extra time with it, it'll be fine. It's just, you got to touch it.
Where's your soundboard clip? Just stroke it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what else I have for Ange, actually, that kind of fits in this particular instance?
Oh my gosh, I need that in my mouth. Thank you. Yes.
She had some great one-liners up at the ice.
Was
Caves.
that? Was that? Oh yeah.
Didn't
No.
Let's not go
What
there.
happens in the ice cave stays
Yes.
in the
That's
ice
right.
cave.
No way. That's
Yeah,
what. No
no,
way.
well,
No
I mean,
way.
There are things that happen in the ice cave that you'll never know about, Chris. I'm
Seriously,
sorry.
you gotta let me take you there.
I know. I got to do. I wanted
Has
to, but
you
I had.
never.
I had to. Well, no.
No,
never
that's
been.
I've been trying to get him to go
Never
for
been.
years.
Yeah, I would have gone if I
With
wasn't.
his drone.
I would have gone if
Are
I
you
wasn't
having a moment?
recording
Dude,
this morning.
You need to take your
I know.
drone out there.
I know. So, Alex,
Oh,
let's
wow.
start there. So, you guys went out to the Big Four ice caves, as it's known here in the Pacific Northwest. It's a glacier, essentially, up on a rock.
Started out this morning. Yeah.
Whoo! And Alex got some killer drone footage. Did you get it up on YouTube yet, Alex?
It is.
It's there, yeah.
No way. Good job.
I edited a bit too fast.
All
to
right,
be
so
honest, but
people,
it's there. It's good.
people want it. We'll put a link in the show notes, but people that are watching live, I'll put it up on the old thingies too.
Some time lapse.
What'd you think, though? Oh, you got some time lapse. All right, Ange. Why don't you start with the plan? You took them out. You've been there before. You knew kind of the route to take. What were you going for with this trip?
Well, so I do go there like 2 or 3 times a year, every year for like the last 5 years. And my biggest thing was to get them in the fresh mountain air and to see something that you just normally wouldn't see. And there were really cool things everywhere. We saw a snake. Other than that, there wasn't a lot of wildlife, although Cheese did see a bird.
Nice job,
and
Cheese.
having the drone was so great because normally I climb over this giant hill to look at some of the smaller ice caves, but we just looked at Alex's drone and like, oh, they're not that impressive, so saved that hike.
Oh, yeah. Little preliminary pre-scope.
Yeah, but I've never seen inside the ice caves because I always stay away from it.
Yeah, because it kills people.
Yeah, it does. It has killed, I think, like 6 people in the last 10 years. So, yeah, not going there, but the drone footage is really epic. You should check the show notes for the link.
The thing is, there are signs everywhere saying, do not enter ice caves. Ice caves kill. Ice caves are dangerous. Do not enter ice caves.
And
you
what were
will
people
die.
doing?
Avalanche zone.
And how many people did we see in there today?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at least half a dozen.
20?
Yeah, loads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I just
20 or
flew
so.
the drone in there at head height, and no one really seemed to mind. I was just stuck it in tripod mode. It went-
Well, I think you actually might have saved some lives. You might have
Maybe.
discouraged some people from walking further
Right?
in.
Like
It's a
they're more
public
afraid.
service.
They're more
Yeah.
afraid of the drone than the ice cave.
Did your drone not freak out going inside a cave like that?
It did.
Well,
did.
it so normally
Kind of.
has GPS mode, and then I got an error message saying I've gone into vision positioning mode. You are now flying line of sight, but it was fine.
That's how you should be flying, really.
Well, I
You
mean,
should always be flying line of sight.
yeah, but I mean,
the dude also races drones, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
yeah, you just fly in a straight line, back out in a straight line. It's all good.
All right, I want to get Elle's Texan take on the ice caves. What did you think, Elle?
It was cool. I have to admit, I was expecting something bigger when you say like ice caves. Like I was thinking, I'm going on a glacier.
Yeah, right. It's a big chunk of ice hanging off of a mountain.
I do love though the entire time. So like Angela's like, if they kill people, you have to be careful. Don't go so close. And later it's like, you could have touched it. And I'm like, wait a minute. What?
Because I found out she's never seen snow. At one point, there's a picture of us, or a video of us waving.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah, it's epic out there, though.
It's
right?
really cool when you stand in front of it, like this gush of like you're standing in front of a freezer. It's like, I want to go
You get
closer.
a breeze, huh? You get a cool breeze?
Yeah, so here's some statistics. It was a 1 mile hike with an incline of 200 feet. The elevation change was, 200 feet. And then the top of that particular mountain is 6,400 feet, right, Cheese?
Yeah.
What's so cool,
So
though-
the top of the mountain that
Yeah.
we were looking at is 6,135
Okay.
feet.
All right.
And we went from...
So for you Texans, that's up there.
It
That's up
was
there.
like, we went from 1,700 feet, beginning elevation, ending elevation is 1,900 feet.
You tracked it?
1 mile, one way.
No, it's on the sign.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I took pictures of the sign at
Sure.
the base or the entrance to the...
Those are interpretive signs, Cheese. Please refer to them correctly. What's really neat is what's at the end of the ice cave is a waterfall. And I mean, I don't think I would have gone in there to see that if Alex hadn't sent the drone in.
So that's what creates the hole of the cave.
Oh, sure. And it's melting as your
Melting
drone.
and then refreezing.
Did your drone
even.
get all wet, Alex?
It did, yeah. When it came into land afterwards, the top was covered in spots and drips and stuff.
Because I noticed there's some water that got on the lens here as you're
I mean,
flying.
it wasn't bad. There were
No,
like
it
2 or
was
3
fine.
drips on the top of it. But.
So here's the thing, right? I used to be really precious about drones, and that one I used cost nearly $2,000. So I am a little bit scared to put it in the air, like over water and stuff like that. What if you hit a bird and it tumbles and stuff? But as Cheese said, I do racing drone stuff quite a lot, and I crash those things dozens of times a day. And I know these things can take some abuse, and the brushless motors that are in there are waterproof.
Yeah, that's true.
So the only thing that could get wet would be the camera or the gimbal or the
Mhm.
circuit board inside. But
Yes.
the casing's pretty solid.
Yeah.
It should be fine. As long as you're not flying it under a waterfall, you should be fine.
I had mine. I was up in the air once. Just started raining like it does around here. There was nothing I could do because it's 5 minutes back to where I was at, and it got rained on, and it was fine. And then the other time I flew it up in the snow. Didn't think about this, dummy Chris, right? Duh. The snow, when it hits the drone, melts because the drone's warm, and so it just gets all wet. Like, whoa. So the drone lands. I'm like, oh, it's soaking wet. Of course.
But usually the way those batteries also connect, they connect through the bottom. So you're not like, there's no way water can really ingress into it unless you like land into water, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're pretty safe, I would imagine,
Yeah.
in most cases.
Now that you've seen it, you've been up in the mountains and all that kind of stuff. What do you think? Like, you guys, the only reason you and Elle both just spend so much time in flatland.
I will say both Elle and I had a little bit harder of a time I feel like getting up the mountain,
the inclination,
just because I know I'm a flatlander, right? Like there's no elevation where I live, right? It's like
it's a smooth incline though, right?
It's like 1 foot of elevation per mile, or
that's pretty smooth.
5 or 500,
and it's a trail that's like actually easy to walk on.
Yeah,
right?
it is a trail, so you don't have to like keep stepping up on steps, right?
Yeah,
so and there are like little breaks where you can pause and break, and but it was really nice, man. Once we got up there, I mean, like Ange said, like the air is just so brisk, it's so clean,
it's quiet,
it's super quiet.
The sun was out.
The forest is beautiful. I mean, I'm lagging behind. They're all like in front of me, and I'm like, do you guys just keep going? I'm like literally just standing in the bridge, like admiring the beauty, like trying to soak it all in.
Did any of you get the no cell signal?
No. Well, I mean, no, I never did.
No,
I mean,
we
I
weren't
used
up
my
there long
phone.
enough.
I used my phone to do some time lapse. Right, like point it the other direction, and then took a bunch of pictures with my regular camera of like us going up the hill and shots there. Alex broke out and did some time lapse too, so I'm sure he'll post something of that later.
I've literally just finished rendering the time lapse.
Did you?
It's in the Telegram group in about 20 seconds time.
That's cool. So, but it definitely worth it, and most definitely it was Mother Nature's like AC unit because the wind, I guess, coming over that ridge goes right through that ice cave. And so when you stand in front of it, like within a 120-degree angle, like off of the front of it, I mean, it's amazing, man. It really is.
Mother Nature's AC, really.
I'd say, so you come over the crest of the ridge, and then there's just this big flat area at the bottom of the waterfalls, loads of rocks and stuff. And apparently the ice caves recede and come forward as the weather changes, but this whole area I would say was at least 5 degrees cooler than the surrounding forest.
It was the perfect hiking temperature too. It was 65 degrees, which had me taking off my jacket,
But you're also not like soaking your clothes either, so it's
absolutely
no. But
not.
if it had been any hotter, it would have been uncomfortable.
I know
Elle was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, so being the Texan, I have 3 layers of clothing
You
on,
say
and I
ice
had a
cave,
jacket. Yeah, I was thinking ice cave. I'm gonna be cold.
Yeah.
Angela did point out that was really cool. So you look over to your right side, and all of the trees are only growing on the left side. The right side is completely bare, where I guess an avalanche had come down and just cleared off.
Oh, yeah, sure. Huh.
So they're like one-sided trees. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, and the way the wind like cuts through the valley and stuff can affect that's what up there at the Diablo Lake it was saying.
What's so cool about that is you can look at it and you can see how dramatic the effects of that stuff are. You just see it. It's just right there.
Well, I mean, it's beautiful, like the Spanish moss hanging off the trees, and you can see where the glacier, the water runoff from the snow has created these valleys throughout the mountain. It's like Nick on the Rocks,
Yeah. Check out Nick on the Rocks on YouTube. It's pretty good.
I'm in love with it now. I'm going to go home like in love with it. But you can see where, all of these trees have started to kind of collapse because the soil's been washed out from underneath them. And it's just, I don't know, it's really amazing out there. It's really beautiful. There's no cell phone signal. I do like that there's like a ton of campsites that you can rent. I guess you don't even have to rent them, do you? You just have to reserve them per se?
You do have to pay regardless of. There's some for reservation, some for walk up, and then there's some like non-regulated campsites.
Yeah,
you may have to have a Discover Pass, but that's
I mean, all up and down the road there are places you could pull off and camp and hang out.
Oh
and,
sure.
and then go spend some time up there. I think would be wonderful.
So Cheese has a request that when we come up for Linux Fest, I'm already here, but when they come up for Linux Fest, that we do that and camp, and at that point there will be snow on the full trail, like the whole thing, because I've been there in April and everything was covered in snow.
Yeah, that's for
as long as I get my propane tanks full, I'll be good.
So
don't forget those propane.
What happens if I turn this on right now? I have in my hand.
You're gonna cut your face off. This
well, you got to unfold it first.
You got to unfold it. Yeah. So wing out.
Got to wing out.
Wing out.
So I've got the DJI
the Mavic 2?
Mavic 2, which is the drone that Alex used.
Pro 2.
This is the one with the zoom instead of the
How do you get the bottom?
That Hasselblad.
This is
Hasselblad.
This one isn't Hasselblad.
This one is so much smaller than my Phantom 4.
It is. When he took it out, I'm like, wow.
That's it. I mean, that's not a HR complaint waiting to happen.
You know what's crazy is, first of all, okay, there's a couple of things that jump out at me. This thing has a crap ton of cameras that are not actually used for taking photos. It's just like avoidance.
They're sensors.
Yeah, they're sensors. Also, Alex obviously owns a label maker, and like he's labeled this like a piece of equipment from a company. Like, doesn't this look like something?
Well, so that's my FAA drone registration.
Oh,
nice.
look at you!
Why didn't you just get your ham radio?
What was that
license?
process like?
Fine. I paid $5, I think, and put some personal information into a website, and now they own that data.
You should just get your ham radio license.
That's a
and
thing?
You can put your call sign on it.
No,
that'd be
you're
cool.
flying something. You have to have a license plate on it.
So, were you happy with the way it performed?
Yeah, it's perfect. It's wonderful. That drone I bought in March this year, and it has been to the Rockies. It's been to Yellowstone, although I couldn't fly it in Yellowstone. But yeah, it's fantastic. Like, I don't use it as much as I hoped I would, but when I do, it's always amazing.
What I like about it is, in theory, you could almost like store it in the console of a vehicle.
Well, yeah. I mean, he has like, you could easily just toss it in your backpack. We had one of those at the college that I worked at before I started here. We'd got one that I didn't get much chance to fly it, but we were actually using it to monitor like construction of new buildings and traffic flow around the college.
Yeah, it's a great use for it.
So
I still might have you slightly beat on picture quality for the camera, but in terms of portability, it's...
And then fold those out
I know.
and you put your phone into it.
I know, the controller's way cooler.
It's super
So
slick.
which one do you have? The Phantom
4
3?
Pro.
4.
4
Okay,
Pro,
so
yeah.
you still have the radio that's the size of
Yes.
like
Like
a
you could-
massive hamburger box.
Like you're controlling the Moonlander.
Yeah, and this thing is the size of 2 cell phones strapped together.
This thing looks like a game controller.
Yeah,
It's
it does.
amazing. Yeah.
But you did drop your phone a couple times while controlling it.
Did it fall out? Does it fall out of this?
Well, because I have a case on my phone, it didn't.
Oh, yes,
didn't
right.
fit in properly.
That's the thing.
But I usually use my
That's
iPad,
the thing.
That's what I was wondering. Is if
but I forgot the cable.
I was thinking maybe I could dedicate an older device to it that just has a good screen. That's all I need is good brightness.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the fact that if you are going up, the side of a mountain, right, ascending whatever,
Super portable.
super portable.
I mean, that's the
throw
size
that
of
in your
like,
bag, and you're good to go.
That's the size of a lunchbox.
half a shoebox is what I'd go with.
And I would say it's, maybe 3 pounds. 2 to 3 pounds. So it's not very, very heavy. But no, I really enjoyed the ICAs. I thought they were super cool. Like,
Yeah.
if you've never been, you should definitely go check them out.
Alex got adopted by Lainey and Aaron.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
he was the Pied
Yeah.
Piper.
Oh yeah. Yeah. As
Yeah,
soon as
kids
he
loved it.
as soon as he put the drone up, like kids were like, "What?"
And dogs.
Just
Kids and dogs.
2
And the
days
dogs.
ago, or the other day, I was asking Alex, I asked him, I said, do you have the problem when you launch the drone that it just gets tons of attention? She's like, no, not anymore.
Really? No, there were no adults. No adults gave a.
It's just the
No, the
kids.
kids
Gave a
came
hoot.
over because they thought it was cool.
Or me. It would be me if I was there.
And only a
Let's-
couple of kids.
Yeah.
And everyone else, even the dogs didn't mind. So
All right, I want to get Elle's mountain review before we move on. What's your review of the mountains, Elle?
So, what was the original mountain that you took me to? Because I did enjoy that a bit more.
You mean Diablo Lake or back in California?
The last time that we came here, there was a group of us, Popey,
Oh,
and
yeah,
Wimpy, and
Baker.
Baker.
We went to Baker.
So we went to that little area. That was a lot of fun. But I really enjoyed the ice cave, and I love how Angela says that every single time you go, it's going to look different.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, the nice thing, so probably the thing you liked about Baker is not only was we did that whole mountain like twist area.
Did you do
but-
Highway 22?
Yeah,
or-
but 20.
Or Highway
But-
20?
Yeah, but then you also have that lake with the big mountain in the background. That's like, yeah.
I
And
just
with
wanted to
snow
have
on
a
it.
bonfire and just sit and be like, we're
I
just going to
know.
sleep here. It'll be great.
Yeah. I just love it here. I'm glad. I'm really glad that. So we've been doing besides the end of the Friday stream, which is clearly why we're all here, obviously. But we've also been working on a new show. So we did a team sprint to all come in here and do a new show. And in fact, we ended up working. The extras thing just took off. Like the extras thing, like just.
To be honest with you, it's really more than that, though. It's really been. There's really like a few other little skunk work projects kind of going on behind the scenes. So if I don't want to say too much,
You
but
can't.
it's enough that I think people are going to be really intrigued at some of the new angles and some of the new things that we're going to do, and some of the people that I think you'll be hearing from, sooner than later.
Yeah. We have a couple of things now that before the sprint they developed during the sprint.
I feel like if we were here together, all the time,
yeah.
Well, we'd probably at some point get on each other's
Yeah,
nerves.
we would. I'm sure you would.
But we would also really get some amazing work done. I mean,
Yeah.
because just in the short time that we've had to spend together, it's been we've gotten a lot of stuff done. I feel like we've we've kind of brainstormed, and we've come together closer as a team. But we've kind of worked out some other things and some other avenues and some other stuff that we might not have ever really kind of even considered or wouldn't have had an opportunity to do. So
that's the thing is that was job one, was actually spend time together as a team in the real physical world.
Yeah,
that would be good every now and then. And then sort of like develop some of those things. You guys will see on the extras feed, which we'll be talking more about, extras.show. There'll be some stuff that comes out. Like people just came into the studio while they're here this week and just sat down and recorded some great stuff. I think the chat you guys did with Elle from her trip to DEF CON and Hacker Summer Camp is like up first in the extras feed.
Is that what's coming up first?
I think so. Well, first we have
Thomas Cameron.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the one that's sitting there now. Which is a great keynote. If you haven't gone to listen to it, you should.
Yeah, it'll be on Twitter later.
Yeah, and then I think up next is that was just a super organic moment where we're like, let's just go sit down and have a conversation in the studio.
Yeah, I think in like I said, if we were together more often, I think you would see a lot of that variety even more so. But being able to kind of just brainstorm and come up with and work on things that we didn't even really plan to work on.
Right, and we ended up laying some good groundwork.
And it should be said, like, I mean, while we did go to Diablo Lake late in the evening, we all got up early that next morning to get back to work. We
went to Friday Harbor.
It's Friday Harbor. We did our Monday meeting.
On the boat. That was really cool. We went over I wanted to take you guys on a ferry. Okay, all right, come on. How great's the ferry, right?
It was great.
You have
now, it's not cruise level good, right, Elle? It's not cruise level good.
There's no way you could have a better Monday morning meeting.
No.
There's
but it's good.
way.
It was good.
You didn't get seasick.
And we managed to keep it to an hour instead of 2, which was a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, that never happened.
I know. Well, it's because we pre-recorded most of the shows, so there wasn't a whole lot to talk about there.
Yeah.
But
we did do a lot of work ahead of time, so that way we'd have some free time to
do these extra little events, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think we ended up with kind of what maybe something the Friday stream could never have been with the extras feed, but is so clearly what we needed because it allows for people just have a one-off idea and they want to sit down on the microphone and talk to each other about it. And it's just, that's not what the Friday stream was.
No, it didn't give us a wide enough reach to really expand out beyond what the stream was, what the Friday stream was. So I think with extras, it gives us an opportunity to test some things.
Yeah, and interviews that don't fit in other shows, but we often will get
maybe an interview that's just even cut down.
Yeah.
That it's a solid interview, but because we're trying to fit it and package it, You
could have the opposite too. We super cut down something for a show, but we have an extended conversation that goes on the extras feed.
Exactly.
There's a lot of stuff we do behind the scenes to create content that is content itself, interviewing, discussion, stuff like that it's stuff for the shows that doesn't go in the show.
Right.
But
like if you showed up for LUP, right, and there was an interview or the pre-show or something, that you're not saying that will be released on extras, but that sort of information, that sort of those little pieces, those little nuggets that really don't get released anywhere else. Gives us an opportunity to test those things, to try things, to see what our audience likes, and to move forward with the network in, I think, a more efficient way.
Now I want nuggets.
And then with that being said, with extras, there's also some other stuff.
Rando fun stuff.
Real stuff that's coming out too. That's not just going to be an extra feed.
Rumor has it there's some deep stuff in there that may be recorded already.
Deep fake stuff.
No. Other stuffs.
Okay.
Other stuffs that perhaps stuff I didn't even know about before that's been recorded already. We've done a few things already for this. So one of the things we'll do, I feel like we should go on the record and make it official. We're going to start doing a live community Q&A in place of some of the Friday streams. And we'll probably work in a few other things in there, like some game giveaways. I don't want to go too...
We don't want to give away everything yet.
Dare we say live with benefits?
Yeah, it'll be live. It'll be live shows with benefits.
I like that.
And
the great faux show.
The great ones will go in the extras feed. That's an example of something that could go in the extras feed.
Yeah.
But Elle just did like a whole round of trips to stuff. And like, how do you put all of that in one show? So it's more content that can fit in even...
Absolutely. I mean, you could...
Extras.
Yeah. I mean, you could bring her on LUP and let her talk, but like even 5 or 10 or 15 minutes on LUP is really not enough to cover
We just did that.
All of that.
20-minute interview, and then as soon as we're done, we're like, I forgot to talk about, and I forgot to mention this, and oh, how did I forget? So definitely way too much to fit into one show.
Yeah, I think the first thing that's going to be out there is like great, because that was the Thomas Cameron stuff, and that is his keynote about distro wars. Then you got L, Drew, and Joe, the Choose Linux crew, got together and had just a like low key conversation that is just them getting together, talking about stuff that is relevant to Linux users, but not Choose Linux. That's pretty neat.
Right.
And we've got some other stuff in there that is some like Q&A and interviews with the crew. Plus, we'll have live events that we'll be doing that sort of supplement the Friday stream going forward. That will also be released in the feed.
I think the where we're at with the community idea is I think going to provide a much larger voice for our community and our listeners, and allow them to really find out who we are and interact with us, but also, kind of giving us an avenue that we can express where the network's going, what we're thinking, what we're doing,
what our thought process was.
and how we go into things. And with the extras, we don't want to shortchange anything, I feel. And so we want to release that content, and we really want, there's so much more, like I said, that we just don't have time for. That's what's that the extras is for,
And then down the road, one of the things I want to try out is one of you comes to me and says, hey, I got an idea for a show.
Mm-hmm.
We can do like some minimum viable podcasts.
Absolutely.
And put it in the extras feed, see what the data says, see what the audience says. And if we say, hey, we got something here.
And maybe not all of those will be from Jupiter Broadcasting. Maybe they'll be from
what'd that girl just say? Yeah.
Other
who knows,
other
man?
places.
It could happen.
Girl, what did that girl just say, girl?
Whew.
So
Could happen. Well, there you have it. So that the Friday stream was our grand experiment in not only giving people on the crew some more airtime.
Grand?
Oh, it was grand.
But it was definitely an experiment.
It was grand in the sense that it took all of our time. So it's grand in that sense. It was I wanted to give some of the noobs some time on air to meet the audience, but also to practice.
Mm-hmm.
But since the show's launched, Elle and Drew have become hosts on Choose Linux and are killing it. So that's not a thing that we need anymore. You've joined us on Linux Unplugged, and that's not really a thing we need anymore. And we've already outgrown the show.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. We dare I say the Friday stream kind of pigeonholed us into kind of a certain things that we could cover, certain things that
cadence.
Certain cadence, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. And we had other ideas that we wanted to do with the live stream with people, because really what we wanted the Friday stream to be was a moment for the community to come together and hang out with us.
Mm-hmm.
And then we made
a lot of things from that.
And then we made it like this thing that, it's like, okay, looking back at it, that's not how you do that. To hang out with the community, you need to hang out with the community.
Right.
And so that's, it seems so obvious.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
When are we going to get some more loaded questions Cheese's way from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Oh, that's not going away.
That's not going away.
No, we're going to.
That is part of extras.
Yeah, we're going to make we'll make that part of extras. We'll do it with the live stream. We're still giving away games. The one thing that we might tweak is we're going to try to make the questions more Linux.
Which and the form's still out there, and we'll link it out in the show. And the problem is we have got a lot of submissions. I'd say at least close to 100 by now. Somewhere between 50 to 60.
And if you think about it, we need hundreds. Really.
Yeah.
We need hundreds because it's a lot of shows.
We've got to have variation, right? We can't have the same question over and over that someone had heard the answer to.
Mine was like a U.S. citizenship test.
It kind of was.
Yeah, yours really was.
Yeah.
That was
great.
I'm not even going to go into mine.
The nickel.
It don't even matter now.
The dime.
No.
It's old history.
I wouldn't hate it though, Chris, if you gave me an Eisenhower dime.
If I could, I would. If I could, I would. All right, Cheesy, before we get out of here, one last bit of actual Friday stream duty. Who is our music this week?
This is Judge Bitch.
We've heard from them before.
We have. Trash Panda was the first time we heard from them.
All right. Judge Bitch taking us out, and this track is obviously titled Horseblood.
Love you guys.
Love Friday. You guys. See you on Extras.
Bye.
Extras.show/subscribe.
It's Friday.
Heyo, Joe.
Yeah, see if we can get Joe in here.
Hey, Joe, would you grab me another one of those?
Give me a beer first.
Now we know why he wants Joe in here.
Come on.
Well, no, I mean,
come on, join us on the stream, but just give me a beer first.
Can you make me a sandwich while he's out there?
He would reciprocate. You know, like if I'd asked, if he'd asked me to get him a beverage, I would do the same for him.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So what have you all been talking about then?
Can we just shit?
What,
Joe,
girl?
let's just run to the store and get an actual mic stand. Let's run to the Bigfoot music down the street and just
Before
get an
the
actual
post show's over.
Well, then Joe's gonna get lost in the guitars.
That's true. That's true.
That's okay. You've made mine floppy somehow.
Brent's busting out the tape for you there, Cheese.
That dial, the other dial on the back note on the other side on this little.
Uh-oh, Elle's got floppy mic too.
I got floppy mic syndrome.
Oh no, the post show has been ruined by floppy mics.
Okay.